What up, tribe? It's your girl Raji, and I am here with your Hoodoo Almanac for today, Sunday, October the 15th. Today, the moon is waxing crescent in Scorpio. So, if you know anything about Scorpio, you know it's all about doing the deep dive, the investigation, the intuition, and building your development as far as learning how to trust your intuition. I think today is going to be a great day for you to dive more into research and investigating what you can do to attract the things that you are trying to attract within your reality this week. We are moving now in a waxing moon phase. We are still operating a little bit in the eclipse energy, so that shadow period, and you still have the opportunity to utilize any new moon energy from yesterday. So it's usually 3 days before, 3 days after. So if you are doing any work and you have candles burning, you can continue to do those rituals from now, probably like the end of tomorrow, to still catch that energy of change and transformation and dealing with things that you are moving deeply within yourself. Now, Sundays, as you know, is all about the idea of focusing on what's been revealed from the week before and moving into solving those issues and starting a new path for the remainder of the week. So if you've got anything that you need to have planned out meticulously, just in terms of how we roll, it's the best day to do it. Today is a good day to assert your confidence and your leadership in what you are trying to do. So use this energy, do your research so that you can be confident about your hustle this week. So you can be confident about your goals this week because you've done the deep work and you know what it takes. So nothing is really throwing you off this week. You know what I'm saying? So take the time to do that. In terms of what we have going for the rest of the week, when I did the actual collective poll, which I am posting on Patreon now, the full one, we were more or less going over the idea that the collective is moving on and looking for progress so that they can, have the stability and the tribe that they desire. The collective is being advised to be more, how shall I say, private about certain things. So everybody don't need to know your every single move this week, is the message that was translated. Everybody don't need to know your every single move. Sometimes people are unintentionally jealous and their inner thoughts can really fuck up what you've got going on. Sometimes people, I've learned that, sometimes people aren't outwardly jealous or like delusional. They don't know that they're being that way. They may inherently, you might just, for example, tell someone, oh, I'm going to do this. And in the back of their mind, because they have those self-limiting beliefs, they may congratulate you to your face, but in the back of their mind, they can't see how that would be possible. So you have to be very intentional about your dreams and your aspirations and the steps that you are taking on your journey, because they might believe that you can't take those steps just because they can't take those steps, or they're not walking that path, so they don't innately believe that it is possible. And we as a tribe don't really see how that she really fucks up the flow. So this week, spirit and the ancestors are letting you know, when you get this fortune, when you get this plenty, when you get this blessing that is coming to you, because those tower moments are now over. There is progress from those towers that you were experiencing. You need to keep that shit to yourself. Basically, is what spirit and the ancestors are saying. And it's just the way it is, it's the way of the world. You are sometimes very excited and you're very happy and you want to tell people about the great things and the ideas. But again, now is the time for you to be like, in pregnancy, women hide a baby in their stomach. You know it's growing in there, but you can't see it for 9 months. So think of the new project that you are embarking on for this new moon. Think of it like that. Think of your new hustle like that, in that way. It's something that you are birthing, and you need to protect and you need to nurture it moving forward, so that you won't get any interruptions energetically or in the physical. Got it? Now, what's coming up for the rest of the week? If you're able to look at your calendars, we do have some deep diving for the next 3 days in Scorpio. So you're needing to attract like strength in your intuition. You're needing to attract correct information around your endeavors. Then you're moving into Sagittarius energy for about 2 days. And then towards the end of this week, you're working in the energy of Capricorn. So there's a lot of creativity, being free, definitely setting like direct plans, being more conscious of how you do certain things, your ambitions and your control and how you organize certain things. So this week, a lot of us are in the energy of focusing on our ambitions and our creative pursuits in terms of, what our hustle is and what we're doing. So to this week, I'll say maybe you're even researching the way that you can make those things come to fruition and attract those things to you easily and effortlessly. That Sagittarius energy is giving you the time to expand your mind based on what you've discovered between now and what is the 17th. That's Tuesday. So you're being given an opportunity to kind of research and put all this shit into motion so that you can accomplish your ambitions, accomplish what you're trying to accomplish moving forward, whatever goals that might be for you. So, think deeply this week about, making sure you're in alignment with your purpose, in alignment with your true path. I need you to think super deep about that shit today, and over the next couple of days, because that's going to be the blueprint for your next thing. It's your, what they say, what's the reason? It's the reason for the season, basically. So we wanna be thorough about that. And if you're tapping into the Scorpio energy, you know how they are. They are very private. They definitely do their due diligence in terms of investigating and research. So pull on that Scorpio energy for the next 3 days, like 3 solid days. I always say when Spirit gives us like 3 days to really tap into that energy, he's like, no, she, how you see it. But Spirit is basically like, all right, let me drill this in your mind right quick. Let me drill this into you right now. So, take some time to sit quietly today, because you never know what you might hear. I am going to post the shopping list in terms of herbs for the week on the Patreon, and we'll definitely get our goal list up for this week. Let's consider the idea that maybe we'll post some family tree worksheets So this week you can kind of explore and research what your talents, gifts, and abilities are and document that, in a proper way. As we are kind of moving forward, it is more about what your calling is and what your purpose is and what you're getting. And sometimes that does manifest into our careers and not just our hobbies. So I feel like spirit is just kind of like, okay, think deeply about how you show up in this scenario, because you are being, I don't want to sound so like when I say you're being judged about it, but you're being examined on the path that you choose and why you chose that path, and doing that shit like authentically. So yeah, I would definitely make sure your foundation is sturdy. Maybe you've already started to research your ancestors and their gifts, maybe not. If you haven't, then that's perfectly fine. Because sometimes you do not have as much information. A lot of times in our culture, a lot of people are private. They are very quiet about those gifts because sometimes those gifts are ridiculed. Sometimes those gifts are not taken in a positive light. So that's why a lot of things in hoodoo were done secretly, because so your family might not be talking about it, or they might be passed away, and you might just not be able to find as much information as you want to kind of get what you've been called to do. For that, there are things like ancestor readings, which we do offer, and that kind of just break down what your ancestors feel like would be best and would be true for your lineage. And from there, you can just develop your hustle and develop your gift from an authentic space. When I went and started to do, my very first spread of like my own ancestor reading, I was guided and told like, okay, this is exactly what you should be doing, and this is how you should do it. So they'll tell you, and give you kind of a light. So between that and your natal chart, you should be able to kind of pick apart where you stand. I believe that connecting with your ancestors is a very authentic way to approach hoodoo, because a lot of what we do is ancestor veneration, and you being able to call on that energy for assistance and guidance, like during your time, during your mission, as I like to say it. So yeah, we'll definitely get those items posted up for you guys to download, so you can print them or you can work on them from your iPads or computers for the week. And let's see. So we are definitely within the Scorpio Libra Sun kind of cusp. So Scorpio season is arriving. It is arriving. It is giving us a deep dive. Y'all see all the stuff we got going on in the news. Lots of suppressed and hidden feelings are coming to the light in the media. You've got the war going on. So it's just lots being thrown at you. And during this time, I would definitely encourage you guys to focus on your mental health, yourself, ground. Lots of grounding is needing to be done. What do they say? You have that air of seasonal kind of depression, or you're inside more, so it's like deep thoughts and deep feelings and deep things. So continue to ground yourself, continue to stay close to spirit and use your intuition during this time, because like I said, it's a lot going on in the media. That's some part of it is distraction, and some part of it is, need to know basics. A lot of stuff you don't want to see every single day. When I was younger, my grandmother would watch the news every morning, and sometimes I think that makes you like wacky or fear-mongered or just trapped, because the media itself is a programming type of tool, so I tap in, but it's not something that I dwell on 24/7, but you are being encouraged to know. Now is the time to know certain things, because like I said, there's a lot going on, but don't dwell, Don't dwell. Don't get too deep off into it. Don't be afraid, because a lot of things that they are putting out is things that a lot of us already saw coming, so that you can be prepared, for what's next. So yeah. Refine yourself today, and continue to develop your foundation for your practices and your journey, basically. It is feeling like dealing with a lot of us were shaped in our families for what what they thought was good for us, or what they thought that we should be doing. This season, you are getting the opportunity to do what you're called to do, what makes you happy, what your purpose is. There is really no excuse in this timeline, for moving in what you've been called to do, which, is what comes to you naturally. You can hustle doing just about anything, so why not hustle doing something that you are naturally talented at? So it's not forced, it's not fake, it's not, a money game. It's not you choose to definitely make a living and to live abundantly doing what you're doing, but when you do it from an authentic place, it's just so much better. Some people are natural salesmen. Some people are natural, teachers. Some people are that shit that's natural to them. That's why they thrive in those settings. So, and then there's also ways that you can use that energy and be a better entrepreneur or better aka hustler, because you're branching out based on your natural gifts and abilities. So it's very much possible. So I would like for you guys to definitely take that time today and be real and be true and be righteous about who you are, and move from there. It's a bit of a journey, but that's why we have these different resources and these different outlets, because a long time ago they didn't have that. A lot of things were shrouded in secrecy or made to look crazy. If you knew how many billionaires or millionaires go to a trusted astrologer because they don't want to make certain business moves on certain days, it's not favorable. It will cause you strife down the line, shit like that. If you knew how many people relied on Almanac talk to make their moves, man, oh man, you would look at this so differently. But if you made it this far in the chat, you already are looking at it differently, and salute. Proud of you. Go, you go. Go, you go. In terms of the goddess for today, I did some affirmations yesterday, but in terms of bonus episodes that I owe you guys for research purposes. What goddess are we going to be talking about today? It's there, honey. It is there. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing the name right, honestly. As you know, I told y'all we will be moving soon. We'll be moving to the Orisha because a lot of us do have those ties. And, while I'm looking, I saw somebody today that was like, not today, I saw somebody yesterday was like, if you're not crowned with certain orishas, it's not good to go to them and ask for help or guidance or assistance on certain things. Anyway, so I'll keep my personal thoughts about it. No, I won't. If you can go to the saints to ask for help, why you can go to the Orisha? Because the saints are personifications of the Orisha. Yeah, that part. So we got to go to our oppressor's version to be authentic. Do you know how many Black people are praying to saints that are the personification of the Orisha? Based on, certain things. Now, certain people, there's certain guys in the Loa that are specifically for, like, Creole, Haitian voodoo. There are certain people that you just, wouldn't go to. But in general, like, the Yoruba tradition is so vast and so large and spread out. You know how many people are familiar with Oshun or Oya or Yemoha, which is technically Mama Wata. She's a personification of Mommy Wata. So, we're going to get more into that. We're going to break that down because if you think of Mary Magdalene, that's the great mother. That's, if you can celebrate certain things, you essentially dipping back from something that was from Africa, was from our deeply rooted ancestors that were brought over and integrated. So, there are a few people that you wouldn't go play with. You ain't playing with none of them. But there are some people that I feel like, it's universal. Like, how you gonna take Mommy Wata, and say, no, don't go to her. Or, well, who do you go to for guidance? That's how I look at it. So, some people know, like, guides, like Baron Samedi. Okay, no, everybody's not going to him. That's very specific. Everybody's not going to him. But whoever your crossroads person is, there are different people of the crossroads on all different scales. Like a Sioux would be Legba. They call him Legba in the Haitian tradition, but in the Orisha they call him the Esu. And excuse my accent if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but there's certain people I feel like are general and certain people like are specific. Like my mom Brigitte. That's why, everybody don't go to her. I would want to be initiated. I would want to know for sure, before I start dealing with that energy. So, or allowing that energy to guide me, and petition on my behalf to, higher spirit, higher God, those tasks that I'm not able to pull through on my own. So, again, there are some, yes, but others, nah. Because they even have a specific Ablumare, Oh, I probably pronounced it. I'm chopping that word up. But that's the thought of the one true, the God. It's just a different name. Mawu. Mawu is the luau for the creator. It's named for the creator. And they essentially believe that there is a yin and a yang, a male and a female energy, So that shit get deep. And I'm not trying to say, everybody, because everything ain't for everybody. And you definitely have to be particular about the energies and spirits you call in. But there are some that are kind of spread across our culture, just different names. So you decide what you call that person and how they'll help you. But anyway, that girl was like, if you say, can you heal someone in the name of Oshun and you not crowned in Oshun, well, Oshun is Aphrodite, Aphrodite come from a set like, I don't think people get that deep into thought about it. They just be saying stuff, but I be thinking deeply about that type of shit. Well, basically you saying, I'm not, I would rather call Oshun than call like Aphrodite. Help me with this, please. Of course you need to have your offerings and your things together. But I would think that the general ones are, are within our reach. I guess I said all that to say. So, now that I done went on that little rando rant, let's go. And you know how many Orishas there are? Like hundreds. Girl, I was like, okay, sis. Anywho, so we said Bastet and we've done a set. So we are going to, why not just get on into Mami Wata, who is the mama of Yamoja. I'm going to chop it up every time. So we are going to move from a set Bastet to Mami Wata. And Mami Wata is like of the ocean, water, obviously. I'm looking for something on my own. I'm having a moment. And we are going to do a deep breakdown of what she means. And that's probably where I want to go anyway. I have like 2 more that we're going to discuss for our main guides. But Mami Wata is on that list. And you know what? Yeah, she's a water spirit, that we are using to assist us most of the time. This is coming from the area of West Central and Southern Africa, which a lot of our grandparents and great-grandparents come from. She's assisting you with things in terms of good fortune, healing, anything that would cause you like destruction. So with us dealing with the Scorpio waxing moon, yeah, this is cool. It's cool info for today. So Mami Wata is someone who is either or. Like when you say, is that a good spirit or is that a bad spirit? I mean, hell, she like us. So we have our good days, we have our bad days. And there are a lot of times they'll tell you, like, on certain days when you go in the water, you're supposed to be respectful. You're supposed to not just abuse that energy, because it will come bite you back in the ass. When you think of her, she looks like a mermaid. She's got the body of a woman, and then she's like a mermaid. So a lot of us identify with that because of the slave trade. Their Mami Wata is essentially the mermaid goddess. She is the siren, so to speak. And y'all know what they say about sirens. So that's another thing. Like, if you are into, like, my grandparents or great 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 grandparents on my grandfather's side would have ascended from Ghana because they are Jamaican. So she would be exceptional if you were having ties into West Africa, Haitian. They've venerated her in in the Catholic religion, Yoruba, and finally like Louisiana voodoo. Her feast is generally in the summer around June the 25th. Yeah, she is just considered the mother of water. So that's why I say Yamoha comes from her Yemaya. I know I'm chopping it. Oh boy. Oh my. I am chopping her up. She can be considered to be both male and female, but she's mostly been shown as being feminine. And yeah, so she's definitely someone you would pay attention to. They have shrines of her all over, and most of her followers, like, they reach her through dance. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot it has to do with Mami Wata. So we are going to go through the idea that we're just gonna break her down and do more research into her, because that story is interesting, and I definitely want to move forward in talking about how a lot of people will say, oh no, you can't be initiated, but she's coming from a bit of everywhere in terms of how we handle her. Jamaica, the River Mama, Martinique, the Netherlands, Nigeria, the Congo, Zimbabwe, Trinidad. You know, they're versions of her all over. French Guiana, Ghana, Grenada, Cuba, and it's more or less like Brazil. It's like Yamoha and Yemiya, you know. So again, several different names equaling going back to this water spirit. So if you thinking in terms, like I said, siren, mermaid, energy, this is where she's coming from. Yeah. So I don't want to like chop that up anymore. I just want you guys to know that now we're going to set our sights on Mami Wata in terms of research. And it will be thorough, especially with these moon waxing in Scorpio today. Like, we're going to do some thorough research about our goddesses and our gods this week. And after that, we've got like 2 more very significant guides that I feel like we should be looking into. And then we'll move on, like I said, to the Orishas next. So, tap into the Mami Wata energy today, and we'll we'll reconvene, right? We shall reconvene. Because it gets deep and I don't want to overstep and I don't want to misquote. I want to be very thorough about that because, they sensitive about that, baby. So we got to be thorough. We got to be thorough. This week, guys, just focus on your light. Focus on your path. That's the way you're going to make it through. Focus on building some sort of foundation for yourself, spiritually and physically. Not so much like, we all like to make a good coin, but not so much on your hustle, but the very essence of who you are so that you can be rooted. You can like a tree, deep roots. A lot of us are building timelines for our own families right now because a lot of us, some of us have the blessing of that knowing for sure, and a lot of us don't. And for those of us who are moving, Cimarron because you've been displaced, your history is oral. So a lot of things you're getting by ear. Some secrets they don't wish to tell. Some secrets they do. Sometimes they telling you in parables and small forms and just a little, guide of don't do this because of this, or we don't do that around here. Shit is simple as putting your purse on the floor. Nobody's telling you why you're not doing that and where that comes from. They just telling your ass don't do it. So be confident in the idea that you are placing your roots down so that generations after you. So basically, you don't want all this shit to get lost. You don't want all this information to fall by the wayside because it's been twisted and turned and people are not being thorough or they're being secretive or jealous or karmic or whatever the case may be for your individual journey. You get to decide that it stops with you and it ends and begins with you. You get to decide that in its newer timeline. So congratulations. It's going to be a really, really good waxing moon phase. And you're going to attract everything you need, want, and desire moving forward, right? Right. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for tuning in today. The full reading, again, will be on Patreon. And it includes videos, so you get to look at the cards, right? But yeah, y'all have a good day. Stay looking out for those podcasts today about the individual goddesses and what they are requiring for assistance and guidance. And yeah, y'all have a good rest of your day. Happy planning. Talk to y'all soon.